Hey, what's up? It's Anthony and Marley Love. Welcome to another episode of Traveling While Black. Today, we are standing in front of our friend's Third Eye Books bookstore located right here in Portland, Oregon. And you're probably wondering why.
Every year for Black History Month, we enjoy telling the Black history of the Pacific Northwest, and we're doing that on this week's episode.
Yep, but not only are we showcasing the history of Portland, Oregon, we're also showing a couple of Black businesses that are thriving here today.
So take a look at the episode, and as always, let us know what you think.
Hey, what's up? I'm Anthony.
And I'm Marley. Welcome to Traveling While Black.
Most are familiar with the state of Oregon's past in relationship to Black people. It is because of that history, it is easy to lose sight of the fact that the state still has a rich Black history.
Dating all the way back to its inception as a territory, Black people have always been a part of the state's history, from pioneers to state representatives.
Yet, of the state's long-standing Black history, perhaps it's no surprise that it is the city of Portland that holds some of the most dynamic parts of that history. A history that today might be hard to see, but if you wanted to try and experience it, then you at least need to know where to look.
In the northeastern part of the city is what is known as the Albina District, an area that encompasses several neighborhoods including Elliott, King, and Boise. The district is known as the historic center of Portland's Black history.
Ironically, it was the city's racist housing practices that led to Albina becoming the center of Black culture in Portland. As a result, the district has been host to some of the most prominent moments in Portland Black history, from vibrant, colorful ones to more darker but pivotal ones.
Albina's Black history jump-started in the 1940s during World War II, when a large influx of African American workers relocated to Portland for jobs in the booming industries being driven by the war.
Around 150,000 Black laborers added to a Black population of Portland that prior to the war was estimated to be less than 3,000. In order to accommodate the influx, another city had to be created, so to provide more housing.
That city was the city of Vanport, a housing development that housed many of the Black workers, but the little relief provided by the manufactured city did not last long. When the Vanport flood in 1948 destroyed the community, many African Americans relocated to the Albina area.
By 1958, 73% of the Black population in Portland was located in Albina. And because of that, the Albina District became the center of Portland's Black community.
The wages provided by the booming war industries allowed for Black residents to buy nicer homes within the neighborhoods. And with that, Black businesses began popping up. The famed Mississippi Avenue was a commercial hub for the Black community, featuring many of the African American owned businesses.
Albina also became the hub for one of the city's most impactful cultural music movements, the Albina Music Movement. Beginning in the 1960s, the Albina music movement was a period marked by a flourishing of Black music in the Albina District.
Clubs and venues became significant cultural hubs, showcasing a variety of music genres including jazz, blues, soul, and funk. Throughout and until the end of the period in the 1980s, the movement played an important role in the cultural and social life of the neighborhood.
It was no coincidence that the end of the movement correlated with the compounding of the negative impacts of the city's discriminatory practices. Being that it was nearly impossible for Black homeowners in the community to secure home improvement loans, as well as a lack of other outside investments, the Albina District started to experience economic decline.
Although increasing unemployment and poverty rates weren't the only contributing factors to the decline of the historic district, urban renewal projects were also a huge contributor. Beginning in the 1960s, federal legislation encouraged cities to redevelop so-called blighted areas.
The problem was that these so-called blighted areas were almost always historically Black neighborhoods, and Portland was no different. For example, in central Albina, hundreds of homes were razed to make way for the Memorial Coliseum and then Interstate 5.
Just between 1960 and 1970, Albina's Elliott neighborhood alone lost half of its residents to involuntary displacement. As the gentrification continued throughout the 1980s, 90s, and into the 2000s, so did the decline of Portland's Black population.
But just like during the high times, the Albina District has always been at the center of the fight against racism and discrimination during the lows. From being a hub of the civil rights movement, including the Portland chapter of the Black Panther Party, to being the location of the house that represents the last vestige against gentrification.
In fact, it was a proposed commercial development planned within Albina in 2013 that made the city of Portland reconsider its historic approach to development. Thanks to Black residents' pushback, additional investments were made to account for affordable housing, but also include the community input in development decisions.
Even with the conscious considerations, the Albina District is a far cry from what it once looked like when the Portland Black community once thrived. But on our trip, we got to at least visualize what the area may have looked like thanks to the Albina Self-Guided Walking Tour.
Presented by the Albina Music Trust, the tour is a local history and music-themed self-guided walking tour that takes listeners through a 1-mile tour, making stops at 9 locations that were once important locations of the scene.
The tour is narrated by Portland icons of the movement's golden years, Norman Sylvester and Calvin Walker. Their storytelling mixed in with the music that was being produced from within the neighborhood made it almost feel like you could still see the old neighborhood in real life.
Even though the historic Black neighborhood doesn't reflect the African American presence that once existed there, it doesn't mean that there aren't any Black residents and business owners thriving in Portland today, because there is.
Of course, you might already be familiar with the ones we checked out on our last visit to Portland, but this time we got to drop in and meet some new business owners.
Like Desiree Norsett, who became the state of Florida's first Black woman wine company owner, but now lives in Portland and runs a wine and bar restaurant that shares the same name of her wine brand, Mimosa PDX.
Located at 1422 Northwest 23rd Avenue, Desiree has created a popular location with a dope vibe, delicious food, and of course, amazing drinks.
This was definitely a dream place for me. Black woman business owners breaking down barriers in the liquor industry continues with Chauncey King, the first Black woman to own a liquor company in the Pacific Northwest with their brand Royalty Spirits.
Chauncey was a single mother who decided to distill her own liquor in response to what she thought was missing within the industry. Today, you can find Chauncey's Royalty Spirits at retailers across the country, and even better, at her distillery and tasting room located at 4532 Southeast 63rd.
We absolutely love everything Royalty had to offer, and we definitely recommend checking out her website for more information.
Finally, stepping away from the liquor industry and into the food business, enter in Brandon Stevens, who opened up Grits and Gravy in homage to his grandparents and father, who were also restaurant owners.
Brandon takes pride in honoring his grandfather's business principle of great food and great service at a fair price, all of which held true on our visit.
These are just a drop in the bucket of African American individuals that are running successful Black businesses in Portland today. This Black History Month, and really all year round, we recommend you supporting these and others.
And not only in the food and drink industry, but everywhere like in the arts. For instance, checking out the exhibition Black Artists of Oregon showing at the Portland Art Museum through March 17th, 2024.
Portland shows that a city within a state with the history of Oregon, Black people can still have a full and vibrant history that continues to be made to this day. We hope you found this episode to be helpful and entertaining. Be sure to check out our previous episodes.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on all of our social media platforms.
Until next time, beautiful people, stay up, stay true, and do you.